Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. Today's podcast is actually going to be why I started A View Beyond the Ordinary. So I'd like to begin with just saying that for me, this story goes back to my late 30s when I lost a significant amount of folks in my life within a 1-year time frame. And it started with the loss of my cousin, Sherry, who I was exceptionally close to. She was like a sister to me. The other thing about her is she just seemed so physically fit. She'd been an aerobics instructor. She was radiant the last time I had seen her. She was a hygienist, beautiful, 32. To have her end up being diagnosed with leukemia and within 3 weeks gone and out of my life I was shocked. And then within that year, my dad and mom were visiting at my house. My dad elected to have his knee surgery done in Denver. And he ended up, within 3 weeks, having an embolism that one morning. And he had passed away very suddenly. And the fact that I lost him at my house was traumatic enough too. I had a daughter, my daughter Hannah at the time was just 3, almost 4. And to lose my dad like that, where I didn't expect it, he was healthy. Otherwise, it just had a knee replacement. I was left shocked. I had a few more losses after that with some friends. And that just left me feeling like, you know what, the world is not a safe place. I'm going to lose people. I don't know what the purpose is of being here. And oh my gosh, I'm probably dying as well. I really actually thought that. I thought, you know what, if this could happen to them, it could happen to me. So I'm going to add one more thing. My mom, within a couple of years of my dad passing and all of this, my cousin, she ended up being diagnosed with lung cancer and had to go in and have 2/3 of her lung removed. So those all culminated and I was depressed. I was afraid to really do much. And I ended up manifesting something myself where again, within 2 to 3 years of all this, I ended up in the emergency room trying to understand where these pains I was getting on my left side were, what they stem from. And it was an ER doctor I accredit today to helping me say, you know what, Joline, from what I've heard from, talking to your husband, he's now ex-husband, but he had shared the stress I had undergone. And the ER doctor said, I don't think you have anything serious that we can find right now. He goes, I'm going to recommend one more test. However, my prescription for you is to get some therapy, write, journal about the experiences you've gone through, take it easy on yourself. And if that means you go and you get a massage or you get foot reflexology or just do things that you enjoy to help you get through this. He was like, be light on yourself, which, wow, to have an ER doctor say that. So when I got out of there and got home and after many tears and journaling and months of, dealing with the emotion and anger and cussing God out. And I do believe, whatever your belief, I hope, I do believe in a divine, but again, I'm not judgmental, whatever we believe, I do respect everybody's choices. So for me personally, though, it was during that time frame that I was also starting my own business. And I had taken a trip to this beautiful place. I just love it. And it's in Colorado Springs and it's called the Broadmoor. And if you've ever been there, it just has this serenity, beauty to it where you feel special. So it was there that I was walking around the lake and I had a couple of gals there with me, actually my employees, and they were in a different place, in the building, and I was outside doing the walk. And that is where I really had my first magical experience. And when I was walking around the lake, I heard a voice say, "Are you ready to listen now?" And it was that voice that I didn't recognize. And the loving wisdom that came and the tears, and I had just this goosebumps all down my neck. I don't know if you've ever had those goosebumps, and I call them energy bumps because I do believe it's whether, again, you want to say the universe, God, spirit, your higher self connecting with you. I think it's a message. So I had that and I didn't recognize it. And I thought, you know what, if this really is God speaking to me, please give me a sign. I had asked to specifically see a duck or a bird. And I heard the same voice say, be patient. And then shortly thereafter, and I kid you not, and there's a bridge there at the Broadmoor, and I hadn't seen a duck or a bird, that when I had asked that request specifically. So I see the first, duck come through under the bridge towards me, and then swans, and they were all in a straight line. So, and I'm getting those chills now, but when that happened, I really knew, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. And the message I had, and the wisdom, and I was given information, audibly. My intuition, I found, is my strongest sense, and there are 4 forms of intuition, just to let everybody know. But mine is audio, the audio. So I heard the message very loud and clear, and the message is, yeah, you're not alone. And I was given information about my business, what would happen. And from that day on, I really tuned in even more. I really spent, minutes where before it was say 15, 20 minutes. I started to meditate a couple times a day, 20 minutes a day. And sometimes it was once a day and 45 minutes a day. But basically, I have found that when we take the time to get still and go within, we hear amazing confirmation and gain clarity of what we're here to do and achieve. So on that note, it's one of the main key reasons I started this. The other one is I read a book when my mom was going through lung cancer. Her neighbor, Carol, had gifted her this book called Dying to Be Me. And Dying to Be Me is by Anita Moorjani. Anita Moorjani basically has a near-death experience after fighting lymphomic cancer for 4 years. She was diagnosed stage 4. And she really shares her story and what she learned from this near-death experience. And when I read her book, it just left me going, oh my gosh, people need to know how magnificent we are, that all we need to do is be ourselves in this lifetime. That's all we're here to do, and just to be present, because really the past is behind us. The future is ahead of us, and it's futile to spend our energy worrying. Now, if any of you all know me, you know that my mom, and she has passed. She lived, thank heavens, many years, until 81, and I'm grateful I had her in my life. But she was a chronic worrier. So I have a tendency to worry. And this book has also helped me to see what we focus on, we attract. So I intend to go out there, put my explorer hat on, and really hear from you all and learn more from you all about when you have taken the time to follow your intuition, your inner calling, pursue a dream. Were you supported along the way? Did you see doors open that you weren't expecting before there were walls, as Joseph Campbell says? So that's what I want to share with everybody. And I know I'm going to learn some things. I hope, to tune in and you gain some additional hope and clarity, especially if you, like me, have ever stumbled and ever felt afraid, or you need encouragement, or you're not really quite sure yet what you feel like your career is. I have a recruiting background, so now I'm going to connect a little bit deeper to everybody. And when I say connect a little bit deeper, just ask and probe a little bit more, find out more about those courageous souls who have have sought, after their dream or followed their intuition and see what discoveries they've had and then share back with you via this podcast. That's why I called it A View Beyond the Ordinary. I think you have to be open, keep an open mind and an open heart. And I appreciate you all sharing your time with me. And if you know of anybody that's gone through something, what I call magic is really, in my sense, it's a verb, and it means transformation. So if you know of anybody that's undergone a story like this, please reach out, and I'd love to hear from you. And I also appreciate you subscribing to this podcast. I would be most appreciative, and make it a great day.